From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your evening update.
Cascade Paint and Supply is Reading's oldest family-owned paint store, established in 1953. We are the largest Dunn Edwards dealer in the nation, and most of our products are made in the U.S. Our friendly and knowledgeable staff are ready to answer your questions and help you today.
Hello everyone, meteorologist Mike Kruger from Weather NorCal. This is your evening update for your Monday, October 7th. Of course, I'm doing this broadcast here from Baja, Mexico, and I'll be doing this again tomorrow, but things will be back to normal by this upcoming Wednesday. In the meantime, let's go ahead and get you through Kruger's quick cast here, as I do expect it to be a little bit cooler tomorrow. Today, temperatures were fairly hot to start off the work week. I do expect temperatures to start to slowly drop. It'll still be fairly hot as we go into today, but tonight, we're dropping down to the low 60s. Some of the warmer spots were in particular maybe where we see some winds that may bring those temperatures to somewhere around, low to mid 60s here, again with those winds here. So out the door tomorrow morning, you're heading out, getting to work, getting the kids off to school. You've got those temperatures low 60s for the valley. Now some fog along the coast, but that should burn off for the most part going into the afternoon. Otherwise, sunny skies elsewhere and no more chances for thunderstorms, at least for now, anywhere in the higher elevations. So for tomorrow, we're still talking mid to even upper 90s. Is it out of the question to see 100 degrees tomorrow? Not entirely, but we're starting to see slimmer and slimmer chances here as we go into the next few days here. Now for the mountains, we're talking temperatures mainly in the 80s, even for many of the inland areas with those low 60s for the coast. All right, so that is Kruger's quick cast. Actually, it's not. We're still doing that here. Take a quick look at your 7-day outlook. So again, you can see the downward trend of the temperatures. You'll also notice on Saturday, we've got a chance for showers in the forecast. We're going to talk about that in a bit more detail in our deeper dive forecast coming up, so be sure to stick around for that. Otherwise, I do expect to see just that cooling trend, with the exception of the coast. The coast generally staying in the low to mid 60s here for the next 7 days. But for Siskiyou, Modoc County, Eastern Mountains, all seeing that downward trend in our temperatures, peaking with that cooling trend on Saturday before we see another increase in our temperatures for the end of the weekend and early next week. All right, now that is Kruger's Quick Cast. Let's get you into your deeper dive forecast, and we start with your weather headlines. We just might be done with the triple digits for the year. Fingers crossed. Still pretty hot tomorrow, still upper 90s in some spots for the valley tomorrow, but for the most part, I think it should stay below 100 degrees tomorrow. Gradual cooling trend this week. Chance for showers near the end of the week, around Saturday, and then slightly warmer and dry for Sunday into early next week. All right, so let's start off with the fire weather risk. Now what you'll notice here, it's still a little breezy as we typically see. There's nothing unusual with our wind pattern here for the next few days. The wind's fairly calm, no major wind events, and just a little breezy in the afternoon hours. Now what you'll notice though, is our humidity levels will start to slowly tick upwards. That's because our temperatures are starting to drop, and that's going to decrease our fire weather risk. Now for Tuesday, still in the high to very high range for the valley. But take a look at Wednesday. We're barely in that low to even moderate range. Why? Again, temperatures are dropping, humidity levels are going up. So let's take a look at Futurecast. Tonight, chances for thunderstorms are pretty much done with at this point, right? Then by tomorrow, you see how we're starting to see that marine layer move closer, and by I'd say Tuesday afternoon, Tuesday evening, we may start to see some of that fog redeveloping along the coast, but everywhere else, you're looking at dry and clear conditions. For your Wednesday morning, still some of that fog along the coast. That may most likely burn off by the afternoon, but we're also beginning to notice more clouds entering the picture for all of Northern California as early as Wednesday. But the rain still holding off until the around Friday night, Saturday time frame. So there you see, there's Futurecast Wednesday, kind of the bigger picture, those clouds moving in. You see the storm system approaching. Now here's the thing, we're looking at the GFS forecast model. It's the American forecast model. If we look at the European forecast model, pretty much the same situation here. Now, what the long-range forecast models have been doing up until this point, even since last week, is showing that Any rain we do see on Saturday will most likely not be all that significant. And I'm still not seeing a lot of rainfall coming out of this system on Saturday. Really, the main story will be cooler temperatures with just a chance for showers for many of us, but it won't amount to much. And then by Sunday, Monday of next week, it's gone, rain staying to our north if we see any, and we're just looking at the clouds and temperatures increasing a little bit, but staying right around or just above normal. So there you can see the precipitation outlook, wetter than normal to our north, drier than normal to our east. We're in the what's known as the equal chances of above normal and below normal. What does that mean? What that means is not all bets are off for rain, but if we do see any, it won't be all that significant. So essentially, here's what's happening. High pressure has been the dominant feature the last several days, and not to mention today. That kept our temperatures fairly hot, right? But you see that colder air to our north and west, it's just slowly migrating in our direction. Now, a piece of energy is going to break off from that main area of low pressure, and you see how on Friday it's still to our west. That cooler air then pushes through. Our temperatures peak with the cooling trend on Saturday. Maybe a chance for showers, but it's fairly moisture starved, and it's a weak system pushing through. That's why I'm not anticipating a lot of rain. Sunday, that moves out. High pressure starts to build in early next week, but the reason why it's not going to build very strong is because we've got cold storm systems pushing through the Pacific Northwest and Canada, and that's going to prevent that ridge from building very strong. But our temperature outlook still has us above normal, but especially when you go to day 7, day 8, 9, and 10, we're going to be right around or just above normal starting Sunday. So you see how the temperatures are dropping through the rest of this week, even into Saturday. But by Sunday, we're back in the upper 80s, mid to upper 80s, pretty much through all of next week. So yes, it's warming up, but not by much, and should be right around or just above normal. The wave height's not that bad. They weren't that bad today. Of course, we did a beach hazard statement. They are going to start to increase, though, as that area of low pressure starts to inch its way closer to us. So we may eventually start to see some small craft advisories, but nothing for tomorrow. North winds at 5 knots, waves from the north at 2 feet at 5 seconds, and from the northwest at 5 feet at about 13 seconds. So again, a quick look at tonight's forecast. Low 60s for the valley, 40s for the higher elevations, and upper 40s for the coast with some of that fog developing late tonight. Here's your Trinity County neighborhood forecast. Upper 80s, maybe some low 90s, but we're beginning that downward trend with our temperatures starting tomorrow and even more so by the middle of the week. For central and southern Humboldt County, temperatures mainly in the low to mid 60s along the coast, 87 for Orleans, 80 for Gas Key, and Smith River about 68 degrees. Your Siskiyou County neighborhood forecast, those temperatures will be in the 80s for most of us. Some of the cooler spots up to the north and east in the upper 70s. Downward trend in our temperatures for everyone, of course minus the coast, keeping in the low to mid 60s there, but everywhere else, a downward trend in our temperatures. Saturday, a chance for showers, but at this point, even for the mountains and coast, it doesn't look like much. And then, of course, the downward trend for Susanville down to the 70s by Thursday and Friday. And your Valley neighborhood forecast brought to you by Walgamith Painting. Temperatures mid to upper 90s. So to the south, we're talking mid 90s. To the north, we're talking mid to upper 90s. 97 degrees for Redding, 95 for the city of Shasta Lake, Lakehead, Whiskeytown, about 91 degrees. So let's take a look at that 7-day outlook for Redding. We're down to 90 on Wednesday, 85 on Thursday, low 80s for Friday, Saturday, and then back into the upper 80s, just slightly above normal for Sunday into Monday. That is your evening update. I'll be back. I will not have coffee with Kruger tomorrow morning, but I'll still have your update at 6 a.m., noon, and 6 p.m. Until then, have yourselves a great evening.